Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So today I thought I'd go back to this Spring is in the Air Decolarge, and I picked out this one which is in the garden. I don't know if I'm still in that sort of Father's Day mode, but I've got the backing sheet, the topper, and I've already put some pads on the back of there. So let's just pop that out the way. I'm going to bring my trimmer in, just put that to the side, and I'm going to start off with an A3 piece of card. I don't actually have, oops, that might wobble the camera, sorry, I don't actually have any of the plain white A3, so I am using this pearlized one, which will give us a nice finish, but you can just do it with plain. Okay, and I'm just going to make a mark at the 12.5. Turn this round. I'm going to have to swap out that blade for this trimmer one. It's been difficult. There we go. I'm just lining up that mark. I'm just going to pop that on. So we'll save that bit of card for another day. And then if I open this arm out, and I'm going to swap this blade for the, this is the embossing one, or sort of creaser really. So I am going to score this at 5 inches, and then 6 inches, and then I'm going to take this line to the 5, and then to the 6, and again with this line here, lining that up there. So basically you're going to have 5, 1, 5, 1, and around about a half. So it doesn't matter where you mark it is, it doesn't have to be accurate at ½ an inch. It's just giving you a tab to be able to glue the thing together. So because we're making a kind of a box, and I'm not making it with the Hunkydory scoring board, so we're making it with this trimmer. So I'm just going to burnish that down because it's actually too big to go in this trimmer, and I need to cut it down. And it's a bit of an odd measurement, but I'm going to cut it down to 7.2. Oops, that's another copy. There we go. I need to trim that. Right, let me just get my scissors from that. It's just fluffed up that end a little bit with a cut. So there we go. So this bit can go in the big box for now. And then while we've got the cutter out, I'm going to take a piece of plain card. This is 300 GSM. It's not Crafter's Companion though, because they didn't have any in stock. This is a pack from Craft UK Limited, so it's a different one. Okay, so this piece, it needs to be 1, 2, 3 notches under the 9 and 3 notches under the 7. Save those bits for another day. And then swapping out for this embossing one again, and I'm just going to go around all of those edges, and I'm scoring 1 notch below the inch. So this box is going to be a kind of a matchbox sort of style, if you remember the old matchboxes. Don't see them about very often anymore, sometimes in the barbecue section. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way for a moment. I'm going to start with this piece here. So this is our top piece, so just going to go around and burnish these down. And what I want to do just before I pop that together, just make sure that that is going to sit quite nicely on top of each other. And it does, there's a tiny little edge there, but that's okay. So I'm going to be using some red liner tape, but I've only got the super skinny, so I will pop a little bit of PVA as well. And the reason why I'm using some red liner tape on here, because on the actual base of it I'm just using PVA, and it's just purely because it's really hard to hold it in the middle to connect and glue. So I find that if I do this by PVA and putting some clips on the end, it glues really well at the ends, but not necessarily in the middle. So there's just that little bit of weakness there. But if I put the red liner tape on, then I know I've got the best of both worlds basically. Okay, so that's our start. Put that to the side, and then we're going to come in with this piece here, and we're just going to give all those creases a burnish, and it's just your normal sort of box making where you cut out the end. So let's turn it over. So I'm just going to cut along the straight here, and then cut a wedge out there. And that just allows the top to sit together a little neater. So, the only thing you have to remember is keep this bit here straight, because if you cut the wedge out of here, when you fold it over, you're going to have a big chunk out of it. Okay, so make sure you're not cutting the bit that you need. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my trusty clips, and I'm just going to fold this over, pop a little bit of glue on both ends, bring them up, make sure it's flush at the top, and then pop a little clamp on. If you haven't got any of these clamps, just a normal clothes peg will do, or with this PVA glue, this is the Crafter's Companion tacky glue. It does tack very quickly, so you wouldn't have to hold it for very long if you decided to hold it yourself. Just pop some glue on the other side, and again just making sure that's nice and flush. Popping the little grip on, and then again, what's that one I put on first? Just give those a little press down, and then that should be okay. I'm just giving those edges a little push in, just so that they know where they're supposed to be going, and then a moment of truth. It should fit in nice and snug. Let's try it that way. Just getting caught there. Okay. So that is nice and snug, and that's 7.2. So the 0.2 is just so that it goes completely over, so that that is inside, and that not only supports this top, because let's bring you this one in that I was doing a little bit earlier, it sort of bows in otherwise, but it also hides the tray. If you do it exactly to size, I'll show you what you get. You get this bit here hanging over the edge. Okay, so I can't tell you how many times I've done this just to get it trialed and get it so it looks good. Right, okay, so from now on it's really just like a normal make. So I'm going to grab a little bit of gold mirror, and I'm going to cut this down. So we're 5 by 7.2. So I'm going to cut this down to 2 notches under the 5. No, let's swap that blade out for a cutting blade. Here we go. So 2 notches under the 5. And we should be able to get away with 7, I think. We'll try it and then we'll see how we go. Let's have a little look. Yep, that looks good. So I'll pop that one out of the way. And then if I take the backing sheet, And I am just going to use this green bit because this would look nice on another card, and I may use some of the decoupage on it elsewhere. And I'm going to cut this to 4 notches under the 5. There, 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 7. And then that should fit on there quite nicely. No, it doesn't, because I've done that bit, haven't I? I've taken that off there. Okay, that's fine. I will show you how I will fix that. So what I'm going to do, so what I've done is I've forgotten in that 2 seconds, menopause, sorry, apologies guys, that this piece is 7, not 2 notches under 7. So as a result, this is just 2 notches short of where I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is just cut that at 1 inch, and I know I've got a border which I can pop on. Okay, so we've got the topper piece there, and if I bring this piece in, I'll show you the borders that we've got. So we've got this really pretty flower one, or we can go with Just For You. No, I think, well yeah, we'll go with Just For You because we're kind of going down the men route more, but you've got those choices there. So let's just pop that out, snip there, and a little snip there. Oops. This is my Gemini 2, which is currently holding all my bits, so I have been having a little bit of a play with it. It is super fun, I have to say. So this piece across there, I'm going to go and start with 2 notches under the 5, and then we'll see. I suspect I've got to go another notch, but yeah. So 4 notches under the 5. There we go, fixed. Okay, so let's pop that out the way and we can do a little bit of assembling. So this is the bit that takes the time, especially with decollage. Okay, so I'm going to leave that in there. The only thing I'm going to do to decorate it is to cut the insert down and pop that in the middle. It's quite a nice sturdy card, so it'll be fine as it is. If you want to decorate the ends, then obviously you know that's just 1 notch under 1 inch in size, so you can either cut it to that or just take a little bit off. Okay, so let's come in with our clout all purpose, and that will go onto there like so. And just as always, as I say with the all-purpose, just be careful on the mirror. Don't let it splurge out the sides, because it will take the shine off your foil card. And I'm just going to pop that down to about there. Just give it a good press down so that it sticks. And then this piece, I'm going to use some tacky glue just because it's so narrow. I'd never get any all-purpose on without splurging it. Just take some off the back of my hand, and just be careful if you do that in case you have any sort of reactions to it. Just going to pop that on there. Okay, so that is looking fine. So then again with my all-purpose, and this is a good glue to use for this because it dries really hard, so it will stabilize this top as well, so it's going to give it a little bit of extra protection and strength. Okay, so there's where we're at the moment. It's looking pretty nice, but we're going to make it nicer. So this piece here, so I do want to use one of the sentiments, but I don't know if I want to use the big one. Let's pop that out. So we've got that big one, but also on the decoupage we have a With Love. So let's pop that as well, and let's just do a little bit of planning. So obviously when I designed this, I wasn't thinking that there would be a border there. So let's see, we could go, so I think that kind of gets a bit lost now. So I'm going to go with the With Love. Okay, so this is going to go on like so. I am just going to use tacky glue. There will be a tiny little bit of a ridge with this bit here, but it's not going to be noticeable once you get all these layers on. Okay. And this board, this one here, we could always put it inside, which I may well do. Okay, so let's start popping out our layers. So again with the Decolarge, they are in quite well, so just be careful when you're popping them out. So just take that one. This one. And this one here. These are our 3 biggest layers. I think I might not do them all, but we'll see. Okay, so, and the great thing about this Decolarge is this piece here, you can always, it's exactly the same size there, so you can swap them over. Okay, so let's go with our biggest layer first of all. I'm going to do what I always do, and that's just put a little bit of tacky glue on the back of these pads, just for a bit of security and movability. Let's pop that on there. Actually, just check that's not quite poking through. No, I can't see it, so it's just right on the edge. And these bits will all line up with the actual cut of the die, so the sides and the top bit are nice and easy to do. Okay, so I think I am going to miss that one out. I will pop that one, another card with that one there. You know, if I can get more than one card out of it, I really do want to. We've got some little bits here that we just need to pop through. Just put that back a little bit, it's quite well stuck in. Like I say, just be a bit gentle. I'm being a bit rough. I've got another little one there. There we go. So again, and I'm sorry there was no video the other day. We had a call to say that they're not letting us stay in this house, so we were feeling a bit dejected, I suppose. It's a bit sad. So now we have to wait for him to come round and then go through the allocations process, and that is sort of, we're not looking forward to it, to be honest. Like, we've lived in this, well, Mum moved into this house about 83, 84, somewhere like that, and this house had not long been built, so really all this house knows is us. And obviously it's our childhood home, really, even though it's a housing association now. It used to be council, but yeah, so it's quite traumatizing, really. So I'm just going to work out which is the next layer. I suspect it's going to be that one, so let's pop this one out. But yeah, so I was not feeling up to it, really. It's a bit of a shame, but yeah, I've still not got my Hunkydory members gift yet, although it has been dispatched, so it is on the way. So we'll pop that bigger piece to the side. Got another little piece there to come out. So yeah, on the brighter note, I did get my GT. So I have had a little play with it. I haven't really put it through its paces. It's definitely quieter. I did put the put Mum's Go plates through it today just to see how they went, and when they went through, the little door flap flew off the back, so it went back on. But it was a bit of a what's that gone flying across the room? Okay, so I'm just popping that on there. So again, I think this dog piece will be the next one, so we'll skip that and we'll go for this one here. Just ease that out nice and gently. Again, just take those little bits over, and if you can't see from the front which ones are coming out or where the bits are, if you turn it over you can see an indentation of them on the back, so you can just press them through them. So the next video I do is going to be Crafter's Companion. I did in the sale pick up the Once Upon a Time pad, so I may have a little play with that. We'll see what dyes we want to use with that, but it's definitely going to be a Crafter's Companion either way. I haven't done one for a little while, so we will do that. So I'm going to see which is the next one. So I think this one is the next one, Mr. His Hat, and the dog. So let's just pop these bits to the side. So we've got a hat, dog, and we'll take those little flowers, and we'll take his trowel. Some onions. So should we take the onions? There, let's give him his onions. A dog. We'll leave that dog's face. Leave those. I think we'll take the spout though. So we'll leave those bits, and they actually, I'm going to take those flowers. They will go on the other piece some other time. We'll save those for a rainy day, as they say. And we've had a nice day here for weather. It's been freezing all week, like proper freezing. It's sort of today, well, it was a little bit warmer yesterday, to be fair. Not like t-shirt weather. Still like to walk the dog with my coat on. But it did warm up a little bit from how it had been, and today is definitely summerish out there. George went round the lake earlier today, and wanted to see the swans babies. There's 6 of them. She's managed to keep her 6 babies alive, so she's doing quite well. Apparently her name is Mildred. I didn't call her that. It's George and Mildred they are. I don't know who named them, but that's what they're all saying they're called. They're doing quite well, but there's quite a few ducks over there, but there's only one set of duck babies, so I don't know whether they do it on rotation or what, but it's a bit strange. And my little blue tits came home yesterday in their tree, had a little chatter, and then off they went. They've only got 2 babies now though, so I don't know what they did with the other load, because there was like 7 of them when they went. So I'm not sure whether they've just like abandoned them or something's happened to them. Don't know, but seem to be doing quite well. It was moaning a lot, it wanted feeding. Okay, so that's all the decoupage there. I think what I will do is raise this up a little higher. So I had put a 1mm pad on, so I'm just going to take that off the back. Could have just put a higher one on top of that one, but I think it might have been too high. So I'm going to use these Crafter's Companion ones. These are about 5mm, I would say. Has anybody joined the Hunkydory Club this week? So the actual diamond club. So I did become a member again. I did sign up because I wanted the magazines. I was already a member and I still had about 4 months to go. But I thought, well, I really do want the magazines because, like, by the time I get around to buying them, they're all sold out. You know, they've been so popular. And so I thought, well, I will get it with the magazine. I'm just using these pearls here, so I think they might have come from a Christmas goodie box. Let's just put that on there. I might put the glue too close together, so let's take that off. Let's go with the smaller one. Just going to put that on, and then I'm going to go with the smaller one. And I have got one of the Hunkydory tools. You know, they use the scraper bit to pick these up, but it's just a little wide for my hand, so I kind of struggle with it a little bit. Right, so that glue will glue dry clear. Just try and get those sort of semi-evenly. So I've got 3 there, and then I'm just going to put a big one and a medium one here. Come off its glue. And I love this colour green. It's like a moss green. Okay, so just got a lot of glue here, so I'm just going to use my knife, pick some of that PVA up. I know it dries clear, but it does dry shiny, which means if I try to take a picture, it shows up. So just move that along a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just bring in, let's see, how about, yeah, I'm going to bring in my scraggy old trimmer, so apologies for the state of it. I'm going to bring in the insert. So the inside we know is 5, so I'm just going to go to 2 notches under the 5. I will have to just, sorry, put the end in, and then this should be, so the actual drawer itself was 7, so it should be okay going 2 notches under the 7. Let's pop that out. Oops. That. And then we can just see that that fits in there quite nicely. Now, so just a tiny bit more off the top. If it wants to come out, there we go. Fingers and thumbs. So there's 2 notches. Oh, I didn't quite go 2 notches, that's why. So that should be better. There we go. Okay, so apologies about the state of this trimmer. I've had it a long time, and I used to go through phases of sticking bits and pieces everywhere, and what's actually stuck onto it is the waste from the sort of, oh, I can't remember, diamond, it's not diamond art, but it's I can't remember what it's called. I'll have a look in a minute, I'll tell you. The Dotty Designs, those kits, so that's the waste from the sequins. So okay, so that's there, and then I can, I think, pop that on there. I am going to put it flat too. What I had, sort of what I thought would be nice for this box would be, is the perfect size for seed packets. So that's what I had in mind when I did my measurements and everything. Right, so this should go back in, hopefully quite nicely, if I'm not being all fingers and thumbs. Yes, I am. Like I say, it just goes under, and that's the finished project. Okay, so just the one project today, because it is a box, and obviously with the decollage it just takes a little longer. I will put photos up on Pinterest, and as always they go up on my Facebook as well. I've got a Sybil Jones Concoctions Facebook as well. If there's any questions, any queries, anything else you need to know, just send us a little message. Always happy to help. I will still put this up as a fast video, which will be exactly the same video sped up ×8 with no talking. I suspect it's probably only going to be a couple of minutes long by the time it's done, but that will go up probably tomorrow, you know, just in case at some point you want a quick reminder of it, of how it goes together, or you know, it's there if you need it basically. If you've not got a lot of time, it's quite handy sometimes to have a slightly faster video. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me bleating on. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.